Hi everybody, my name is John Harrison York. I'm a junior studying political science from Jackson, Mississippi, and I'm running for student union president on the upslate. So I decided to run for president a few months back. We started having the conversation with different students, people who were involved with SU, with student groups, people who weren't involved with either, about some of the things that they saw as issues on campus. And one of the main things that kept coming up was the amount of barriers for students to make their ideas into realities. And so one of the things that we really want to focus on for this coming year is opening up opportunities. We've been able to see just the different roles that student union can really have in individual students' lives in order to serve and empower them. And that's really where we want to focus on three main areas. One is on campus, so opening up opportunities on campus. So one of the first things we want to do is really focus on the RAP, which is the old subway space, which newly opened for students to be able to use to reserve, to go down there to eat and study, do whatever. And we really want to take that and make a real investment in there, especially in light of the new Res Life fees. We've been seeing the university and the administration taking away student space consistently, making us have to pay for it. So this is an area that we can really kind of call our own, that we can really make to serve students, to have the programming that students want to see. So we want to make a commitment to that by making enhancements in the area in the form of televisions, new furniture, converting a stage in there and installing a sound system, and working with students to make that a space that they can really use to its fullest. Secondly, we want to have an on-campus programming calendar. This won't be anything like the link for those of you who are familiar with that. It will not be any new software. We're going to just use either Google Calendar or Live at EDU, which is what every single student has through their university email. So we will take a look at which one of those works best for students by having focus groups with them and getting input on which one works best, letting student group presidents have access to be able to edit it, let it be viewable by anyone, have that on the SU website, including the all-school email, so that students can strategically plan their programs, find ways to co-program, plan their weekends, etc., find different ways to really be able to utilize the programming that's going on campus, because that's a major void for us right now. Secondly, we also want to take a look at going off campus, creating opportunities for students to really experience the city. So there's a lot of talk about the bubble that is WashU, and we really want to be able to provide transportation so that students can get off campus, to go to Soulard, to go downtown to the Landing, to go to the Central West End, to really experience the different events that come through, like St. Patrick's Day. And so we'll be working with the Vice President of Programming to make sure that students have the opportunities to go out and really be able to experience all the awesome things that our city has to offer. Additionally, we want to bring things onto campus from the city. So using the RAT, for instance, to have local restaurants come in, students can get a taste of different places around campus to kind of encourage them to go out and experience that for themselves, kind of get exposure to what exactly St. Louis culture and cuisine is like. Having a series of speakers to be able to come in, talk about St. Louis, the issues that it faces, the opportunities that it holds, and ways for students to get involved. So we really want to work on students being able to burst the bubble and get off campus. Secondly, we would like to really expand Engage 360. So Engage 360 is a recent student union initiative that I have worked with the current president, Morgan DeVaughn, on to get started. And that's all about connecting students and student groups to service opportunities off campus in a targeted and meaningful way. So what we'd like to see from there is bi-weekly service trips into our targeted area, as well as a commitment to a long-term project with a community garden. And that will be in the 22nd Ward of St. Louis, which is only 5 or 10 minutes away from campus. So it's really kind of hitting home, really making investment within the community and really reducing that barrier by making the connections for students for ways to get involved. Thirdly, we want to make sure that students' ideas become realities. We really want to be able to empower students for anything that they want to do, we can make a reality. So we want to open up the student activity fee in an even more dynamic way. So last year, it was made possible through an amendment to the Constitution for individuals to appeal to Treasury for the student activity fee. That had some success this year, and we would like to expand upon the ways that it can be used. We'd like to have idea bounces in the realm of technology, art, service, on-campus issues, etc. Any different ways that students can possibly get the money into their hands, make their ideas something that can really be beneficial to the campus community, we'd like to make happen. Secondly, we want to open up communication with student union and make sure that student ideas are being received and that we're messaging what exactly is going on our end. So we would like to have focus groups every single month with a mixture of student group presidents and randomly selected students, so that we have targeted people who, whatever issue it is, may deal specifically with them. Say, for instance, that alcohol was the topic for our focus group. we would make sure that Team 31 was there, since there's the intrinsic issue with the university between